History of computer technology. Ideas of computer science were first mentioned before the 1950s under the Institute of Technology (MIT) and Harvard University, where they had discussed and began thinking of computer circuits and numerical calculations. As time went on, the field of information technology and computer science became more complex and was able to handle the processing of more data. Scholarly articles begin to be published from different organizations. Devices have been used to aid computation for thousands of years, probably initially in the form of telestick. The mechanism, dating from about the beginning of the first century, is generally considered to be the earliest known mechanical analog computer and the earliest known geared mechanism. Comparable gear devices did not emerge in the Europe until the 16th century, and it was not until 1645 that the first mechanical calculator capable of performing the four basic arithmetical operations was developed. Electronic computers using either relays or valves began to appear in the early 1940s. The electromechanical Zeus Z3, completed in 1941, was the world's first programmable computer, and by modern standards, one of the first machines that could be considered a complete computing machine. During the Second World War, Colossus developed the first electronic digital computer to decrypt German messages. Although it was programmable, it was not general purpose being designed to perform only a single task. It also lacked the ability to store its program in memory. Programming was carried out using plugs and switches to alter the internal wiring. The first recognizably modern electronic digital stored program computer was the Manchester's Baby, which ran its first program on 21st June 1948. The development of transistors in the late 1940s at Bell Laboratories allowed a new generation of computers to be designed with greatly reduced power consumption. The first commercially available stored program computer, the Ferranti Mark I, contained 4050 valves and had a power consumption of 25 kilowatts. By comparison, the first transistorized computer developed at the University of Manchester and operationally by November 1953 consumed only 150 watts in its first version. Several other breakthroughs in semiconductor technology include the integrated circuit invented by Jack Kilby at Texas Instruments and the Robert Noyce at Fairchild Semiconductors in 1959. The metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor, the MOSFET, invented by Mohammad Atala and Down Kang at Bell Laboratories in 1959, and the microprocessor invented by Ted Hoff, Federico Fleggin, and Masayoshi Shima and Stanley Mazer at Intel in 1971. These important inventions led to the development of the personal computer (PC) in the 1970s and the emergence of information and communication technology (ICT). By the year 1984, according to the National Westminster Bank Quarterly Review, the term information technology had been redefined as the development of capable television was made possible by the convergence of telecommunications and computing technology, generally known in Britain as uniform technology. We then began to see the appearance of the term in 1990 contained within documents of the International Organization of Standardization (ISO). Early electronic computers such as Colossus made use of punch tape, a long strip of paper on which data was represented by a series of holes, a technology now obsolete. Electronic data storage, which is used in the modern computers, dates from World War II when a form of delay line memory was developed to remove the clutter from radar signals, the first practical application of which was the Mercury delay line. The first random access digital storage devices was the Williams tube, which was based on a standard cathode ray tube. However, the information stored in it and delay line memory was volatile in the fact that it had to be continuously refreshed and thus was lost once power was removed. The earliest form of non-volatile computer storage was the magnetic drum, invented in 1932 and used in the Ferranti Mark I, the world's first commercially available general-purpose electronic computer. IBM introduced the first hard disk drive in 1956 as a component of their 305 RAMAC computer system. Most digital data today is still stored magnetically on hard disk or typically on media such as CD-ROMs.